Welcome back to the Social Distance Podcast. Such a short episode for you guys today. George is out training, so we've got our faithful man, Iffy, joins the show today. It's like
Benjamin
doing the Detour
Button.
podcast, but it's we do a short 30-minute wrap up about the Giro so far. We talk about Clarkey's near win. We talk about Bling's bloody crazy good win. We talk about the fact that Remco's gone home with COVID. We talk about who's going to win the Giro now. It's a really fast-paced, high-intensity. I'm tired. So enjoy it, like, share, subscribe.
Let's just run the intro and wing it like we always do and see what comes out of it.
Let's get ready to rumble! Front kick.
Just getting bored and dance move chat.
My radar's going pretty hard at the moment. I think we should.
Will you shut up, man?
That escalated quickly.
We're going to need to get some more qualified guests on the show, eh?
I feel like I'm on the detour. We've dug deep to the bottom of the barrel to replace George today.
What a great intro for our guest. I can't believe it's been 2.5 years and we've never had John Iffy Trevorrow on. Now, this poddy's obviously huge in New Zealand, Bewls. Do you reckon he's a household name in places like Rotorua?
I reckon he'll be up there. I mean, a lot of our listeners also are or were fans of the detour. So they all know who it is.
It was a huge
Jones shut it down. Yeah.
Mate. Our sponsors didn't come back.
Oh, okay. Same thing.
And as our listeners know on this program, Bewls, like if the cash ain't right, we're not. Our time's money.
That's
So,
but anyway, George couldn't make it. He's out training, so we got Iffy on.
And I've been training. I just got back from my nearly 2-hour ride out the back here, and bloody hills everywhere.
Yeah, nice. So if he's at the Giro as well, for those of you who are wondering, he's like a bit like he's a reporter, but at the same time he's kind of the team mascot for Jayco, aren't you? You have been for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
He flips and flops. Let's be honest. Like he turns it on to anyone he talks to make out that he's heavily embedded and was cheering on them. But mate, you're Jayco all the way.
Yeah. No, I give a little leaning towards Israel with Sammy doing such a sterling job de-essing there. And, of course, the Aussie connection, 2 Aussies in there with young Sed Berwick, who's bloody good, right, a good race. And, of course, Clarkey, who, bugger, almost got his Giro stage win the other day.
But for those listeners that have no idea who John Trevorrow is, how would you intro him, Bewls? Like to give a proper snapshot on who our guest is, apart from we've scraped the bottom of the barrel. Like, we're gonna give him a bit more context than that.
You do it.
Well, okay. He's a 4-time national road champion from Australia. 3 on the books. 1 was an asterisk, wasn't it, Johnny? What happened?
No, 4 in the books. 4 in the books. 1 amateur, 1 to go to the Com Games back in the old days, or amateur and pro, and then 3 pros. But
now he's known as a journalist, but obviously, back in the days, he represented Australia at Olympic Games in Munich '72, Commonwealth Games. But he was known as one of those riders that, like, if he just took it serious, didn't smoke darts and drink piss, he could have been anything. Could have been an Aussie Remco, but unfortunately, he did like. The other things in life, but that's why he's a good storyteller. And let's skip to the Giro 1981. If he broke a record for the highest when they do the fat test, where they get the tongs, you broke all those sort of skin folds. I think you broke the record that year, but tell us about your 1981 Giro story there, John.
Well, it was interesting. I got called out of retirement by one of the team sponsors, Gianni Savio, who was a sponsor of the Safia, which is a Belgian team. But so I come over at last minute after 3 months, hadn't turned a pedal, 2 weeks on the bike and rode the Giro. So, yes, I did carry a little bit of weight. But after 3 weeks of the Giro, and then only had 2 days off, and then 2 weeks of the Tour of Swiss, which was then, I was as skinny as, mate. Survived.
And you got an unbelievable sponsorship at that race, which gave you a famous nickname. How did all that come about, John?
Well, I got the DS walked in on, I think it was the second morning, and I was laying in bed having a dart, and he caught me, and he wasn't very happy. He didn't really want me being there anyway because he could tell I was way out of condition. So he dobbed me into Gianni Savio, but instead of Gianni being upset, he said, "John, you have a cigarette?" I said, "Occasionally to calm the nerves, Gianni." He went to Marlborough, did a deal, and I got $500 to start the stage because even back then, cigarette companies couldn't sponsor in the Giro. So I got $500 to start the stage with a dart, and then I fired the gun and I butted it on the headstep, and down the road we went. So that was in the television, of course. So I became known as the smoking kangaroo, the kangaroo al fuma or something. And so Gazzetta dello Sport started running a little column on the back page each day of what I was doing today because I'd tell them bullshit every day. So, yeah, I became famous for all the wrong frigging reasons. But anyway.
It'd be good if the Giro was still like that, though. I was in the start line now. I was having a ciggy before we rolled out.
Oh, a vape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vape.
And the Sixers used to all do that too, like the AFL footballers. You know, they quarter time, half time, they would dart.
Yeah.
It's gone. Those days are gone.
But I like how, like, say with darts now, it's so, turns people off. You clearly, for a good reason, can't smoke in restaurants. But whenever, like, Australia's just announced their budget, they always go to taxing grog and darts because they know that the smokers are addicted. Like, they're still going to pay, I think there's like $60 a pack now. And they're always going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Never
they're
lose.
trying to.
And us alcoholics as well. We're back.
Yeah.
What about the Giro so far, though? Iffy, what do you think? Big news overnight. Big news overnight.
huge.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't it? I just got a message from Studio Grady. He said, how's the Remco vid? And I thought it must talk about videos. He said, no, that's what they call it, Remco vid. Not COVID, Remco vid. And there's a lot of innuendo saying, oh, look, Ineos looking so strong, he's taking the easy way out. That's not who Remco Evenepoel
No
is.
way.
No way. He's crook.
No.
There's no doubt. It's just amazing that he still managed to win the bloody time trial with COVID. So, no.
I was a little bit surprised that they like announced or withdrew him, or at least for sure he was going to pull out. But surprised that they announced it like last night when it's a rest day today.
Yeah.
Like I thought they would have been like, all right, let's do the rest day, stay in bed. I don't know how long he said COVID for. Maybe he's all right. I don't know. Probably not. Like it's obviously the smart thing.
Evidently, I was just talking to Plappy before, Luke Plapp, and he said that he rang. Remco actually rang or text, I suppose, to Geraint Thomas to say, "Mate, I'm out." To be announced shortly. I reckon they've done it because there would have been because he only won by 1 second, and because he looked bloody rat shit. You see him after finish, all the wrinkles on the eyes, all that negative stuff that was going to come through. He said, "Look, he's going to be out anyway." He was definitely positive, so he's going to be out. Let's do it straight away and stop all that shit. It turns the stories from wow, that's a great performance considering, than all the negative stuff, and then the next day, all that negative stuff, and now I'm out. You know what I mean? I think it's a smart move, actually.
Yeah, and I guess like he's, undoubtedly he was going to have a lot of media and probably a press conference today. So like, you can't really hide it. Like if you're out, you're like you say, he's either out. You announce it last night or you announce it tonight. Yeah. Either way, he's not racing tomorrow. So like with the press conference this afternoon, it's like easier just to be like, I'm out of the Giro. I'm going home. No press conferences, no media. Otherwise, they've got to say like,
exactly,
bring it out.
He's not coming to the press conference because of this, or like try to bullshit your way through it and then all the fucking rumors start. It's just like, I've got COVID. I'm fucking sick. I'm going home. Good luck to the rest of you.
No.
Who's gonna win now then?
I can't see.
I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. Remco wasn't guaranteed to win it, but
no. I actually picked Primoz before the start. I just thought he would be the man, but I can't go past Ineos now. They're strong, the strongest team, and they've got two guys who are either one could win, and they're good mates. They'll play that card against Remco at some stage, and as good as Remco is, he didn't do a great time trial yesterday, although he did a pretty good last 5-6K because he was actually further down and closed it a bit in the last 5K. So, he's got plenty in the tank. So pretty good team. Although he's a couple of men down as well, isn't he?
I wonder who. It'll be interesting, like to see the power shift in Ineos. Like who's going to be the leader? Like there's no way you can separate them at the moment. They're separated by 2 seconds in the time trial. Like you can't.
It's easy,
they're almost
to work
exactly
it out.
even.
Just ring Demers. You go, mate. What's going on? He'll tell you. Well, like that's a good shout though. If he like Zach Dempster's obviously gone across to Ineos, who's doing like he's just there for the Grand Tour tactics, and marginal gains. You know what it's like, Bewls, when you're trying to deal with DSs and all. You know, you've got all these other fucking factors that you got to play into just organising your race. Imagine having a DS that's just solely tactics. That's all they have to worry about. That's it.
Well, you're a DS now, Bewls. You were a pretty good bike rider, but they tell me you're an even better DS. The rumours I hear.
I was average at best as a bike rider.
No, you weren't. You
finished with the group of 30 in that Giro that year when Chavez had the jersey.
Yeah.
Remember? With all the hitters.
Yeah.
You could dig deep with the best of them, mate. Don't sell yourself short. I hate it when riders retire.
We'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do that. Yeah.
John will almost talk things up where they go, mate, you never won that. Oh, yeah, but no, mate, it's a lie.
Yeah.
But you're the opposite.
No. Yeah.
So, as a DS, mate, what would your tactics, if you were Ineos #1 DS, how would you play it?
I'd wait for probably stage 15, I think it is. And then I'd go fucking all in early on the stage. Try to isolate Roglic. And then just play the cards. Like, just use, like, because, like, the other guys, like, they got first and second on GC, or first and third on GC, G and Teo. And then they've got like 3 other guys in the top 10 or top 15. So, like, I would just wait till that stage and I'd just start early. Just pretty tricky, the stage to Bergamo. Pretty tricky, twisty descents, hard climbs. Just go early, fucking full gas, isolate Roglic, and then just play with G and Teo on the last climb.
Yeah. Well, see, G's not known. He's not like a rider that attacks. He just gets his speed and settles in. Whereas what's Teo's style? I don't know enough. Has he got the ability to set him up? He's pretty attacking, yeah. So G will just play that role of just following Roglic if they do the 1-2 punch.
Yeah. I think they don't have to worry about. I personally think they don't have to worry about deciding. The race will decide it. You get near the end, one goes bang. If he stays away, he stays away. They're good mates. They're not. They'll let the road decide. And that's what will happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those two, like, yeah. I mean, the obvious thing is like they both can win the Giro, and they're very hard to separate them at the moment. So that's the only way to do it is just to race the Giro, and then when someone loses, when one of the other loses time, then the other one becomes a leader.
Exactly.
Or they both finish on the podium.
One's already won the Giro, and the other one's won that other race in France. So they're not bad.
Circuit the South.
Yeah.
So what?
No,
so have you found
journey.
DS in a G Grand Tour compared to the 1 week or the stage or the day races, Bewls? Is there a big difference?
It's pretty busy, yeah. It's obviously like you're on the clock for 3 weeks. Like you don't really have a rest day today. Obviously, is like a rest day for the riders, and it's a rest day for us in the car. But it's not really a rest day. Like I've still been working all morning. But basically doing what we just did then, trying to like work out what team's going to do in the coming stages, so that we can try and create a strategy around how we're going to win a stage, things like that. So what days are Jayco going to control it for a sprint, so we don't have to waste our energy, Iffy?
Do you have to work out who's going to do with the bottle points? Is that your role to work out?
Yeah, we sort of do that. We've got 3 DSs here, which is how every team is essentially, and we sort of do that all together. So we have 3 DSs, 21 stages. So we've sort of split the stages into 3. So like I'll focus on 7 stages, and the other 2 guys will focus on 7 stages. And then that's sort of our job to prepare those 7 stages, like the bottle points, the course details. But the lead DS, who's Oscar, who he's the guy who's coming up with the strategies and all that sort of stuff. we just support him with the details of the stages and all those sorts of things.
Yep.
But it was a good first week for our team, I reckon. Like, we didn't win a stage, but we went bloody close a couple of times.
Mm.
It was heartbreaking for Clarkey, man. Fuck.
Oh yeah,
Heartbreaking, eh?
like we were saying on the detour tonight, that they committed for so long, but just at that moment where you needed to commit, like it'd be hard, because how do you then mentally, when you go, I'm not going to roll that guy on the sprint, like for the Jayco, was it Demarchi or whatever? And they start playing those games, you're watching it going, oh no, because you almost know it's going to happen.
But they like I was talking about it the other day with someone, and I was like, what could we have done different? You know, how could we have like avoided getting caught there? And like, honestly, the reality is they just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple as that. Like, I just don't think they were just 10 seconds short. And like, because at a certain point you have to play the game. At a certain point you have to.
You got to have a buffer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and whether it's 1K to go, 200 meters to go, wherever it is, and in their situation it had to be late, which it was. But at a certain point you have to go, okay, fuck, I could win this. How am I going to do it? But like, I think even if they didn't play the game, I think they just didn't have enough time. They were just 10 seconds short.
It would have been really close. But so the only thing, probably Demarchi wasn't going to outsprint Clarkey.
No.
So that's why they got inside 1K to go. I thought they're going to get this, but that's exactly when they switched off. They went through the K and then looked at each other, and probably, you know, if you look at what I could do different, I'm sure they've thought about it overnight. Probably Clarkey needed to go at, you know, 8/10 sort of thing, keep going a bit harder, and knowing that he had the better sprint. But I don't know.
Yeah, but also, like, it's easy to be like, oh, Clarkey's faster than Demarchi, but you've also got to remember that they did 160K fucking full noise. They did the last 90K, just two guys swapping off like like full gas, like trying to hold off this peloton that was being chased with 6 different teams. Like, it's not your regular sprint. Like, they're both actually fucked.
And it's very rare. The reason why Clarkey's so gutted is it's very rare that he has not won a race based on outwits and craft. Like, he's always pinching millimeter wheel dives just because he plays the game of chess better than anyone.
And like, man, honestly, if it was 2 different people, if it wasn't those 2, they would have got caught 10K to go. Yeah. But like, it's 2 of the smartest bike riders in the peloton when it comes to a breakaway. Yeah. So the fact that they got to their point is actually like a, you know, chapeau to those 2 guys.
Yeah. That's smart and strong and all of that. And, you know, teammates last year, you know, they've been through the many years in the pro peloton together. So what
intrigues me is, Bill's like, you've always been good with people. So after the finish that's like cutthroat like that, how often do you have to just go to the generic kit bag of lines like, chin up, mate, gave it a crack, mate, should be right, mate. There's another stage in there for you. Legs are good.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I'm not really a kit bag kind of guy. I sort of just
wing it.
Try to be like I, you know, at first I didn't actually say anything to Clark. I just gave him a hug.
Yeah, and then he almost. I was standing there next to you, and he almost cracked. Then you could see him, you know, the emotion when you did that. But you gave me the bum steer. I said, Clarkey, and he said, no, he's going back to the hotel, mate. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So I'm about to walk off thinking I've missed Clarkey, and then he rides. So you gave me the bum steer, Dills.
I thought he had, like, because that was
sure, mate.
He was saying before the start that he was going to ride back to the hotel, and then when we got there, and then I said to someone, "Where's Clarkey?" And I think, "Oh, he's gone." I was, "Oh, if he must have just, you know, like obviously he's finished the stage, he's cut it, so like, just get me out of here." I don't know where he was, but then he turned up.
He was probably some TV mob had grabbed him before me. Yeah. But, SPS got there. We got him. Mate.
But he'll win a stage. Then we went bloody close with Derek G as well. Jeez.
How have the crowds been at the Giro this year? Like, as a race as a whole, it was always one of the favourites to do because it's like the purest Grand Tour. But I obviously haven't been there for a long time now. Is it still as good as it was 2016? Man,
the crowds in Napoli were insane, eh? Like,
the crowds have been great, actually, except for the really couple of days have been just atrocious weather.
Yeah.
So that held it back a bit. There's still people out. No, the crowd's great.
The weather looks horrible tomorrow.
Whew. Yep.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be touch and go whether we can do some of these mountain passes at the end of the second week here.
Yeah, that's sort of the rumor going around. So, the big climb. This one is the one went over in 81 when I rode up. Was it the Three Cime de Lavalito or whatever it's called? I can never quite get the name of that one right. I'm not saying it again, Bewls. The major climb.
I think we go to Saint Bernard on Thursday, and that's going to be. That's the Chima copy, 2,500 meters, man. I don't know if we'll be able to go over that with the weather. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
The last week actually
How are you,
is
Jonesy?
one of the toughest.
No dramas, mate. No dramas. Been a pretty stock standard couple of weeks, mate. Not much to report at this end. It's always dicey when we have to organise a show, though, because we know it drops, or we should be back on the Monday records. And then you forget that, like, you're obviously at a race, that's easy to plan, but then George actually has a job that requires him to go on, like, 5-hour rides. And then whenever we do the group WhatsApps that you've often screenshot and use that for socials, it always turns into the same response. Fuck, lads, I've got a bloody 5-hour ride. I got to try. Bro, you've actually got a job. That's fine. Like, there's no stress. And that's when straight away I go, we'll find someone, and messaged Iffy, and here we are.
Yeah, and hats off to George. It was actually his idea. He sent a message and said, "I can't make it, boys, but just bang out a 20-minute. Give the listeners an update of the Giro, which we've done. We're at 22 minutes, and it's nearly lunchtime, so we can probably call it 22 minutes.
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
think?
missing out on lunch right now, actually. But
hey, Iffy, do you
sorry, bud.
Do you groom your downstairs? Do you trim your pubes? Because if you do, you should go to manscaped.com and use the
trim those grey alfalfas.
Use the promo code SDP20 and you'll get 20% off and free shipping worldwide for the little clippers.
Oh, well, there you go. You got the sponsors plug in, mate. Well done.
Oh, mate, you can get like this ball spritz, like it just like spritz your nuts, and then you can get this sort of like cream that my old man's addicted to. I had to give him my 3/4 tube because he loves it when he goes for a bike ride and that. But, mate, your Jats crackers will never look, sound and smell better.
You're shockers. You're shockers.
How's the mood over there? Iffy in the Jayco camp. They've bloody good good win from Bling as well. Jeez, that was an impressive win, eh? That team was good that day.
It was an impressive win. Exactly, you're right, in a couple of ways. One, the team were committed to it. They thought, this is probably one of the best Bling days. And so they made the race, as you well know, Sammy. They took it on early. There was a couple of climbs. They got rid of some of the main sprinters, even though Mads got back. He used a fair bit of energy to get back, which probably was one of the reasons he couldn't get over Bling. And then Bling, who sometimes, is frustrating because he waits that fraction too long. He's not a natural sprinter. He's got the speed of a sprinter, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being in that washing machine of the last 500 meters. Just hates it. But he just committed, went early, did everything right. It was a fantastic win. Fantastic ride.
You got to give it to Bling, man. He knows how to win big, hard races, eh?
Yeah, I think last year that Tour de France stage win was something else. That was his best ever performance, and that made people think about him. He rode, his Worlds was good. Get across get on the podium, but it was good. A good win. Yeah.
All right, let's finish the show with one name each. And we'll revisit on the second rest day. One name, who's going to win the Giro?
Geraint Thomas, every day of the week. Geraint Thomas. Talk about crafty bike riders, mate. He's already four chess moves ahead of everyone else already at this point. John,
Teo. I was going G, but I'm going to go Teo next. Did you went with G? Before the race started, I went with the ROG. But I just think I can't. I just think Ineos are too strong. So I'll go Teo.
Yep, I'm on the fence. I
like how you create the question and then only just swing around and go, "Yep, I'm on the fence." The fuck is that?
So I'll give you two names.
Yeah, okay,
I think Roglic is going to win, but I want G to win.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Now you've got that. You've got Roberts. There you go. Yeah.
Well, I assumed that Remco could now do the Tour de France, but if he says no, he's not going to. Well, the bookies they don't know that because they've got him paying like $6.50, I think.
He's not right.
So is he doing the tour or not?
No, I don't believe he will do the tour because he was never intending to do the tour because they don't believe he can beat
Vinegar or the Pog.
Yeah, exactly. They don't believe he can beat them this year, and he wouldn't. But next year, they're setting it up for next year. So the whole thing was bang, right? Giro win. He's won the Vuelta last year, wins the Giro this year, and then in big man for the tour next year. Okay, it hasn't worked out that way, but no, I don't think he will ride the tour.
Hey, what's the word, Bewls, on the Netflix series on the Tour de France? Has anyone seen an edit or cut or no news whatsoever?
Just seen the trailer and the release dates.
Where's the trailer drop?
They've put a couple of trailers out.
Oh, shit. What's it called again?
Oh, I can't
I'll
remember
Google
what
it.
it's called.
I'll Google it. It's just evident that we don't prep for this show. Anyway. All good. So how's it? Just before we go, how's the food been, Bewls? What's the best dish you had? Because
honestly, the food at the start of the week was fucking horrible.
Why is that?
And there's no other way to put it. Oh, it's just shit. It was just shit.
How do you get a shit pasta dish in Italy?
Well,
it just
must have been the hotel because ours wasn't that bloody good either the first week.
But now as we've head further north, last night was. Now we're getting to the real Italian cuisine.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
It's been good.
Palms and wheels, or were they banned because of COVID?
No, I haven't seen any wheels actually. No.
Oh
yeah, but we're in Bologna now for the rest day, so we're in the heart of the Parmesan cheese country, so we might get some tonight.
Yeah, sweet.
We had spaghetti bolognese last night. Funny about that.
Yeah, we did.
Bloody
as well,
good too. Bloody good.
Oh, good stuff. All right, well, we'll check in again on the next rest day, Bewls. We'll just do a couple of little Giro updates for the viewers.
Perfect.
You may think you're getting robbed by getting less than 45 minutes, but you'll get another one next rest day, a little bonus kicker.
Exactly. You get once a week. One this week.
What?
One.
All right, you need a rest, mate.
Easy for you to say.
All right, lads. On you, Iffy.
See you guys.
See you later.
Chat.